what about the Atlanta Falcons situation? Because this is something we talked about really a lot, like in the past weeks. The Atlanta Falcons firing Dan Quinn. So the Atlanta Falcons are start season 0-5. They've gone 7-9. I believe the past 2 years. They've been the epitome of mediocrity. Slow starts are been very abundant in Atlanta. So I just and to me it's just like this is a move that probably should have happened like last year, if not the year before. I think they're already
Should have
too
happened
late on
last
it.
year. The year before they were in the Super Bowl.
No. They were in the Super Bowl in the 20 after the 2016 season. 2017 was the last time they made the playoffs. 2018 they didn't.
Yeah.
Never the
2019 they
Super
didn't.
Bowl.
So 20. So I think after last year, definitely, I think most people can agree they probably should have fired Dan Quinn. They should have probably relieved Thomas Dimitroff of his GM duties as well at that point, but they didn't, and they started the season 0-5, and it's just a shame because the heights that Dan Quinn took this team to, he was because before he got there, Michael Smith. A lot of people don't know Michael Smith was the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, and he was kind of seen as this guy. He was a good coach overall, but he wasn't the guy who could take that team to the next level, who could really work on putting the pieces together, motivating that team, and getting the most out of his players. That was the issue with Michael Smith. And you saw, I think, over time that happened with Dan Quinn in his first few years, and he took that team to Super Bowl. But ever since then, we like to joke, what was it, 28-3? Ever since that moment, it was all downhill. That team has been regressing, and they've been underperforming.
Yeah, I think I just want to push back on that. This team has championship pedigree. I think that this team has a lack of talent on the defensive end, and I think that they don't have a running back to help Matt Ryan, and they don't have an offensive line
Well, Todd
to keep
Gurley,
Matt Ryan upright.
excuse me, sorry, but
Todd
Todd
Gurley,
Gurley, no,
he's
Todd
he's
Gurley has shown
fine.
up this season. He has shown up this
He's
season.
fine. Yeah, I
It,
mean he's fine. He's shown up this season. That's 0-5. They're 0-5. That's
fair
great.
enough, fair enough.
He's really shown up, huh? If he's shown up, give me 150 yards and two touchdowns and win me a football game.
All I'm
So
gonna
You
tell
I
you
you
is
you obviously have not been paying attention in fantasy football. I have Todd Gurley, and he's shown up.
no, that's fine. But it's fantasy football is one thing. When is he getting yards? Is he getting yards in fourth quarter garbage time? Is he getting yards when is he getting first downs when they're blowing fourth quarter leads? Like they've been in every game and they've lost fourth quarter leads, at least three. It's what do you do about that? That's the coach. That's players not knowing what to do in important situations. That's players not executing in important situations. But that's the GM for not having enough talent to overcome that. That's the GM for not fixing mistakes that have just occurred over. Like, you can set your damn clock to it, man.
I am going to tell you this because if anybody watched that game against the Cowboys that the Falcons blew, you said defense. Defense is their problem. They scored how many points and
Special
still lost?
teams.
Offense is not the problem. They got rid of Devontae Freeman. Offense was not the problem. It was defense. I said this on draft night. And I am not, yes, I am going to pick on one individual player, but picking on that one individual player is part of the reason why the GM got fired. It's part of the reason why, because their defense sucks. What did I tell you? What did I tell you on draft night when it came to the Atlanta Falcons? When you asked me about the draft, I told you they drafted a corner. And what did I tell you? I actually watched in Atlanta subtraction through addition. That's part of the problem. They took the kid out of Clemson, but it's not just because they took the kid out of it's not just because they took the kid out of Clemson.
That's pretty funny.
It's not just because they took the kid out of Clemson, the corner, and he has underperformed. He wasn't even playing because he had COVID. Like he was in the COVID. But the point of the matter was that I was trying to make with that was they have not been getting the pieces that they need to be able to execute on the defensive side of the football. And that's why their defense is some shit. Now, part of the reason why, yes, I did say, because I do have this bias against Clemson, but I did say drafting AJ Terrell, I actually watched the team get worse by drafting a first-round player. Now it's all coming to fruition, but it's not just him. It's the defense. It's the whole defense as a whole. It's the entire defense as a whole. That's their problem. Their problem is defense. Literally, whoever they bring in as the new GM, whoever they bring in as the new head coach, they need to hire a defensive-minded head coach because they already have motherfuckers that can play offense. They have Matt Ryan, who they're going to end up having to replace anyway. They're whatever the fuck they can get out of Julio Jones, whatever's left of his career. They're going to pretty much waste these next couple of years of his career if they don't trade him. They already got rid of Freeman. So honestly, with them, it starts with defense, yo. They got to bring in and they got to stop drafting motherfuckers like the motherfucker that drafted out of Clemson in the first round, which I said on draft night, he's not going to do shit. Once again, he hasn't done shit. But, it's an isolated incident. That isolated incident is just the epitome of what I've been saying with that team, which is their defense sucks. They got worse. They added a player. They got worse. I am picking on the kid. I'm not trying to pick on the kid. I'm just using him as an example. They need to bring in a defensive-minded head coach. I'm not saying Rex Ryan, but a defensive-minded head coach and a GM who's willing to build that fucking defense and think defense first. Notice every fucking team with the I'm not even going to bring up even the Chiefs. Look at the Chiefs, right? Even the Chiefs. Their defense has become not elite, but really good. And people dub them unbeatable, even though they just lost, right? Notice all these teams. The Ravens. What was the Ravens thing? The Ravens thing is they've always been defense. Yeah, you have offense. Now they have an offense. That's why they're an OPS team. Tennessee, for example. We hang our hat on defense. Our run defense, we hang our hat, even though our run defense has not been that good, but those numbers are going to go way down because we had a really good game last game against Buffalo. It all starts on the defensive side of the football. You build your defense, and then you go from there. Build your defense and go from there. That's what they have to do, but they haven't been doing it. And you got to draft the right players, bring in the right players, and bring in the right coach. That's all you got to do.
So I think in order to remedy a problem, a potential person they could bring in is probably Robert Saleh from the San Francisco 49ers. He's been talked about for being a head coaching candidate for a while now. And I think he's honestly the perfect guy to bring in for this team.